Alright, everybody. Hello, and welcome back. I know it's been a while, and there will be some reasons for that. First of all, classes have just really gotten to me, because these summer classes are really important, because if I don't complete them, uh, you know, I'll fucking get all my scholarships and financial aid taken away. So, I mean, I have to pass these. I've just been doing a lot of running around as well. I've been doing a lot of moving and stuff. And I've just been spending a lot more time with family, stuff like that. I've been going to the gym like every night, just doing a lot of things to where, I don't know, I kind of felt a little bit burnt out on this and just wanted to do other things, Like those other things made me feel a little bit happier. But, we're back, we're doing this. I still enjoy doing it. So, I I feel
burnout is
like
bound to happen.
well, you're saying I
Ow.
feel like right that I'd be way more okay with making content if I knew how to fucking edit because I kind of want to do like movie reviews and like do editing of like the film in the background and stuff like that, Like make the video a little bit more interactive than just fucking staring at a screen.
Right.
But anyway, speaking of that, uh I'm going to do my topic first, and I guess I'm gonna go in like reverse order because I just want to. But
Oh,
yesterday, one of the reasons why I was not on yesterday was because I went and I saw a movie with a couple of my like bros, and I have to say I felt the ultimate fucking level of betrayal. Um, because every single fucking person and their mother has been telling me that Top Gun Maverick is a good movie, and I think that you guys are fucking insane that you're saying that this is a good fucking movie because this movie's dog shit, and I just feel like people don't really understand that and are therefore like retarded. But this movie is not fucking good. Somehow it was like named the number one movie in America, highest box office, a bunch of other bullshit all that bullshit you see like on the advertisements for the fucking movie, like on TV, for the theater, and it's like this movie fucking sucks. It's terrible. It's not a like to put it into perspective, I had six other friends with me. I'm not going to tell you their names, but I had six other friends with me, right? So it was seven of us. Out of the seven, the highest rating that this movie got from us out of 10 was a 2 out of 10. That's the highest that they got from my group of friends and me. And I mean. So, like, that should really say something, I think, because it's fucking garb, that I'm just saying, like, if you have 6, 7 different people coming out of a movie and they all say it's like 2 out of 10, that's trash. That's fucking garbage. But well, like most of us gave it a 1 out of 10 is what most of us gave. I think only one person gave it a 2 out of 10. The other fucking 6 people gave it a fucking 1 out of 10. This movie's terrible. Like, I can give you like a quick rundown of the plot, but there basically is no plot, so it's gonna be kind of hard to do so. Also, are you just fucking breathing? Cause like there's this weird sound coming from your mic. It sounds like,
no,
is it the wind?
no, it's probably me scratching my beard.
Oh, it sounds like wind or like
Uh,
it just sounds like continuous breathing into the mic.
my bad. I don't actually know where I don't think this even has a mic, or does it? It might. I don't know. Continue.
All right, man, I got you. So basically, right, one of the things in this movie that is really fucking awful, just right away, is the acting. But I'm getting ahead of myself, and I kind of have to do like a plot synopsis first. So basically, our main character, Maverick, is a graduate from Top Gun. He works in the Navy. He's been a captain for like 10 years, 20 years or something, you know? And the first thing that you see in this movie is him testing out an experimental plane to get up to Mach 10. and he does get up to Mach 10, but basically what essentially happens, right, with him getting up to Mach 10 is the plane, like, fucking, it shreds. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really shred, but it gets blown out of the fucking sky, right? Testing this plane, trying to get up to Mach 10, alright? So, after that, he is kicked off of the Navy, and it's just kind of like the intro, but then he gets invited back to Top Gun. And essentially, there is this mission that is needed to be done, and they want him to teach all the other top, like, Top Gun graduates how to fly this mission. And it's a mission where, like, they say you need to be in and out in like 2.5 minutes. You have to fly like only 100, I think it was, yards above the ground or something. So, like, only elevated like 100 yards, 100 feet above the ground, because you have to fly in a canyon to make sure that SAM turrets don't kill you. And they said that they have to do it in 2.5 minutes because they have to get in there, destroy it, and get out, before the enemy starts prepping their planes. Because I don't know for what fucking reason. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. But they're using like a really, really old model of plane, I guess. And their planes are like way better. So they have like a 0% chance in a fight, I guess. And for some reason, they're using these fucking stupid ass planes. It's never explained. It just says, yep, we're using it. And I was like, okay, it's a fucking shitty idea, but go ahead and do it, I guess. Um, and so the whole fucking movie, right, is him training these Top Gun recruits on how to fly this fucking mission, because they're used to flying like minimum 5,000 feet above the ground, and they have to do 100 feet above the ground. And there's this whole shitty ass fucking subplot going on of how this guy really loves a woman, right? And I think it's someone from the first movie, but I didn't see the first fucking movie, so I can't be sure. Um, and I guess they don't really like each other, so they constantly irritate and piss each other off, but they also do love each other, I guess, because they hook up at the end of the movie. Um, there's that whole subplot. There's a whole subplot of how Maverick, our main character, made it so that Rooster was sent back 4 years in the Navy because he didn't think he was ready yet because his dad died and he didn't want him to die. So after all of that, that's the plot. Now, if you're wondering how much of that plot is actually in the movie, probably like 45 minutes out of the fucking 2 hours. I guarantee you, like, if you watch this movie, you'll say, what the fuck is going on all the time? Like, half the fucking plot is not present in the movie. Like, after you learn that he has to be teaching people, you immediately go to a bar, and all the Top Gun, like, fucking graduates that he has to teach walk in, and they start playing the piano and singing, goodness gracious, great balls of fire, and just fucking drinking beer and, like, using the beer bottles as a microphone and wearing shitty aviator glasses and laughing. And I'm not even fucking kidding you. The people who made this movie thought it'd be a really good idea to have a traumatic flashback scene of Goose, which is Rooster's dad, the guy that Maverick, held back for 4 years, of Goose dying. And his plane explodes, and he ejects, and his fucking neck gets destroyed on a mountain, and he's laying in the ocean dead, and Maverick is holding him in his arms. So you see this guy's plane explode, and him break his neck and laying in the ocean, and the entire time you hear, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. It's like, what the fuck is happening? This is the stupidest fucking decision ever. I'm serious. I was literally sitting in the theater, gasping for air, crying because of how funny that was. It's like, they really thought it would be a really good idea to make a traumatic flashback scene over, like, fucking goodness gracious, great balls of fire as his fucking plane explodes and he dies. And it's like, this is a shitty fucking decision. It makes no goddamn sense. It's fucking god awful. It was hilarious. Like, one of the main things about this movie, it is funny when it is not at all trying to be funny. When it is trying to be, like, motivational or serious, you're fucking sitting in your chair laughing your goddamn ass off. But skipping all the fucking filler, which is most of the goddamn movie, right? he starts teaching these people how they're going to have to fly the course, and he only has 3 weeks to do it. So after a full week, they still can't even, like, get to the target. They still can't fly the obstacle course. You know what I'm saying? Like, that fast, that low to the ground, you know? And there's a whole second part of the mission. The whole point is that they're destroying a uranium compound in the middle of somewhere because they don't say where it is. They just say, hey, there's a uranium compound here, and it could be a threat to our allies in the area. So already it's like, so what you're saying is that this uranium compound, you just say, hey, no, and then you're going to destroy it. You don't even know what the fuck it's for, and they don't tell us where it is. So the first 10 minutes of the movie, it's like, hey, we're going to destroy this uranium compound just because. So already the movie, like, does a horrible fucking job of setting up any reason why we should care about what's going on. Because they just say, hey, it's uranium. Uranium can be bad. Let's destroy it. And it's like, it seems like you guys are the bad guys, considering that, like, these people, like, have not said anything to us. Like, that's all they say. They don't say why it's dangerous. They don't say who it is. They don't say why they think it's dangerous. They just say, it could be dangerous, let's get rid of it. And that's all you hear. You have no idea where it is. You have no idea what they're using it for. You have no fucking idea about anything, because they don't tell you. So, basically, right, there's this whole training montage of him training people how to fly this obstacle course. They can't do it. And then immediately after that, right, he goes and he sees his good friend from the Navy that actually survived, called Iceman, played by Val Kilmer, who in real life has, like, horrible cancer and can't speak. You know what I'm saying? Because Val Kilmer is a really, really old actor, and he was really good, and he has cancer now, like, badly, so he can't talk. So they cast Val Kilmer in this movie, and all he does is he sits in a chair and he types on a computer with a black screen on it, and he just types what he has to say. And it's like, at first, I didn't know it was Val Kilmer, and I thought they just wrote that in the movie, and I was like, I don't know why they would write that in. And now I realize it was Val Kilmer who actually had cancer, and it was like, it just seems like so fucking, like, weird and unnecessary and odd. It's like, you could have done this, like, way better than how you did it. And Val Kilmer literally just says one line, right? Because he can barely talk. And all he does is just sit in a chair, and that's it. He just sits in a chair. You just look at him. And it is really weird that they did that, because they could have done, like, I know, it's not that Val Kilmer is in the movie that I think is weird. How they incorporated it is really weird. That was, like, the stupidest fucking idea ever, you know? Like, a really stupid idea. And here's the thing. They made Val Kilmer, a guy with cancer in real life, play a character who dies from cancer in the movie. And I was like, that's really weird. That, like, it almost seems offensive. It's like, hey, Val Kilmer, you want to be in this movie? You have to have cancer in the movie, though, so it makes sense. And I was like, that just seems odd to me. But anyway, passing that, right after that, not even kidding, right after the funeral, it hard cuts to fucking, some beach song. I can't remember what it is. You know, I really can't remember what it is. But it's all the Top Gun graduates and Maverick shirtless on the beach playing a game of football. With, like, some weird ass, like, fucking California song behind it. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Why did it turn into, like, teen beach movie? What the fuck is going on? And he explains it by saying, oh, it's dogfight football. There's 2 games going on at once, so it applies to the mission, the fucking flying mission. He was like, you said you wanted me to build a team. Well, I'm building a team. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? And so then, after a whole bunch more fucking bullshit, they finally do the mission. And if you were paying attention to, like, how they're going to do the mission, you would know that it's like, a stealth mission that they have to do incredibly quickly. And so the Navy says, hey guys, before you do this mission, we're going to send 20 Tomahawk missiles and blow up their airstrip, their runway. And they're like, I'm just like, why? You spent the whole fucking movie saying how you didn't want to alert the people. You wanted to get in, get out as fast as possible, avoid all detection, and then you send 20 Tomahawk missiles over there. So they're literally really, like, and they have the gall to follow up, right? When they get there, like, the enemy knows that we're here. It's crunch time. It's like, yeah, no fucking shit they know you're here. Because you just fucking destroyed their runway. Why would you put that fucking line in the movie? It's like, hey guys, just to be aware, they know you're here. Sending missiles for no reason. And it's never fucking explained why they fucking decide to do that. They just decide to do it at one point. It's like, oh, we're doing this. And it's like, okay. So they get in there, right? And they do all their fucking flying, all their maneuvering. They destroy the uranium facility. And then they immediately go all the way straight up and get detected by SAM turrets. And it's like a fucking 10-minute long sequence of them dodging and avoiding SAM turrets. I was like, the whole fucking point was to not get caught by those. What is fucking going on? Like, they literally just fucking said fuck it at the end of the movie and just did the opposite of what they said they were going to do. They immediately got fucking detected by SAM turrets, blew up the goddamn runway, and basically, right, Rooster, the guy who got held back 4 years, right, saves Maverick, and then Maverick saves Rooster, and Maverick gets shot down. And then one of the most retarded fucking scenes happen. Maverick, unironically, even though he just got hit by a fucking missile and crashed out of the sky, right, the next scene is Maverick laying in the snow without a parachute open, just laying in the snow, and they do like a zoom out, and his plane is nowhere to be seen. Like, there's not even like wreckage. He's just in a clearing, like a perfectly pristine, natural fucking clearing on like a mountain. And I was like, what the fuck? So you're telling me that he's like miles away from his plane, just laying in the snow like he's taking a nap, completely unharmed and perfectly fine. Wow, this movie is fucking retarded. So basically then, Rooster goes back and tries to save Maverick, and then gets shot out of the fucking sky. And then he crashes, and he finds Maverick, right? And what they say is, we need to find a way to get out of here. So they use a fucking pair of binoculars that none of them had before, mind you. That none of them had before. And they look at the runway. And it turns out, right, that the runway has one plane fucking building standing up. One. And it just so happens to be the oldest plane that they have. And so this guy's like, I haven't flown a plane like this in like 30 years. And he gets in it and they fly, right? So, and by the way, it was the most fucking retarded scene ever. They literally go down the mountain and speed walk to the fucking, to the fucking plane station. You know what I'm saying? Like the little padded, thing. They speed walk. And in the background, you can see enemy soldiers in, lines of 6, running around with guns. And these motherfuckers, these goofy-ass motherfuckers, just walk in to the only fucking plane that they have left that apparently is completely unguarded and nobody is anywhere near, despite the fact that they made it look like a fucking army compound with people running all over the place, right? And they just walk in, they start the plane, they exit the building, and they take off with zero resistance. None. They're just able to do it. They get into the sky, right? And they see 2 other enemy pilots, right? And so they try and blend in. Now, this was probably the dumbest fucking scene I've ever seen in my entire life. Because if you've ever seen Black Hawk Down or whatever, you know those pilots that have the fucking hose coming out of their mouth? They have that weird almost pointy mask. They're all dressed in completely black. You know what I'm saying? like fucking like Black Ops pilots, like Black Hawk pilots. You know, they're completely head to toe in that one fucking outfit that kind of looks like a bird face almost, that has the hose coming out of the mouth. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so they're wearing those, right? And the American pilots, Maverick and Rooster, Maverick is wearing a fucking American flag helmet that says Maverick on it, and the other guy is wearing a bright red and yellow helmet that says Rooster. So not only are these multicolored and completely fucking not at all similar to the complete black outfits the enemy is wearing, right? It says their goddamn names on them, like their code names on them, right? And the movie has the gall, right, for the enemy pilot to do signals first. And the movie tries to say, oh yeah, the reason why they were figured out is because they didn't know what the signals were that the guy was doing. And that's like, really? That's the reason why they were figured out? Is because they didn't know the fucking symbols. Not the fact that they look like clowns with those fucking helmets on and like those outfits. They look nothing like the other pilots. You know what I'm saying? Nothing at all like the other pilots. And like the movie does a good job of saying that, like, it does like that angle where they put the camera inside of the plane and it's clear as day. They can clearly see each other. And I was like, really? They lost their cover because they didn't know the signals that the enemy pilots were making. Not the fact that they looked like a fucking custom character in a cutscene. Like, you're fucking kidding me, right? And fucking finally, right, after this piece of shit movie ends, right, they complete the mission, and the guy hooks up with that woman that they, I guess, don't really like each other, but they do, and that's the end of the movie. And like, the movie is the worst movie I've ever seen. Like, the acting is god awful. Even fucking Tom Cruise was bad. Half the movie is just people staring at each other. Like, you know those scenes where they just look at each other for like 10 seconds? There's like 10 of those in this movie where people just look at each other without saying anything. That's most of the movie. The acting is fucking terrible. It's corny, over the top, it's shitty, it's fucking cheesy as hell. It's bad. The dialogue is the worst fucking part of this movie. The worst part. They used the line, "Don't give me that look. I only have the one." Not even kidding. 5 times. They thought that was so fucking funny. They put it in the movie 5 fucking times. 5. Like,
Sounds like something I would say.
this movie is fucking awful because here's a good way to sum it up, right? When we went into the theater, most of the people there were like big old fat guys that were bald with white beards. So like 65 years old, right? And there was nobody our age. And it's like a fucking action, it's like a Steven Seagal movie, right? It tries to be funny, but the jokes are fucking terrible. Like, awful. Seriously, like, so, like, I heard people actually fucking laugh at the "don't give me that look, I only have the one." They laughed at that. There were other jokes that fucking were laughed at that were goddamn fucking terrible. Like when this other dude, Hangman, who's another character, saves Rooster and Maverick from the enemy pilots. He was like, "Hey, welcome to Air Hangman. Please be sure to fasten your seatbelts and keep your arms and legs out of the aisle." And people erupted with laughter. I was like, that's not fucking funny at all. That's not funny. It's a basic ass fucking grandpa joke. The whole movie is shit fucking acting, nonsense, brainless fucking action, and shitty grandpa jokes. This movie, seriously, was a fucking punch to the stomach. I have never felt like this before. When I went out of the movie, I actually felt like the movie was like a parody. It was a parody of movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was an ironic movie. It was a joke about movies. Like, I walked out of this movie and I seriously, unironically said, I kind of want my money back. It was fucking abysmal. And people have been saying this movie is good. I fucking hope to God you see this movie one day and watch it, because it's bad. Like, I cannot do justice explaining how bad this movie is. I seriously can't. Like, you have to see this movie to know how fucking bad it is. It is the most boring, nonsensical, fucking unfunny thing I've ever seen. Actually, no, it's not unfunny. It's hilarious. Every time they did a serious scene, or pretty much any scene at all, I was dying of laughter in the theater because it was so fucking awkward or just so weird and shit that I just had to laugh. Like, it is so fucking terrible. It is a carbon copy of the first. There's no originality. It is like cheesy, shitty, not well written, fucking awkward as hell, boring, nonsensical. Like, I'm sorry, when half the fucking movie is the people saying, hey, we're gonna do this, and then just immediately doing something else, like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. When they landed in wherever they were, it didn't make sense either. When they're like trying to like go like in the canyon to explode the uranium compound, it looks like they're in like the fucking Amazon rainforest, like fucking Tahiti or something. It's all rock and like giant grass and shit. But then after they get blown out of the sky, he lands in like fucking 2 feet of snow, and it's currently snowing. But here's the thing: it's sunny as fuck, right? The sun is out, and it's shining down hard. Number 2, you can't see their breath. Number 3, all the fucking trees around them have leaves on them. It's green as hell, and it's snow up to like their fucking ankles, and you can't see their breath, and the sun is shining. It looked like it was snowing, but it was like 80 degrees. It looked so fucking weird. It's like, it looked like it was snowing at 60 degrees. It was so goddamn weird. And like I said, this movie is the epitome of, yeah, things just happen just because. It's like, why did that happen? Well, just because. It's like, things just happen to happen. Like, I thought that fucking Moonfall was bad when I watched that movie, and it was nonsensical. This movie is literally a bunch of 11-year-olds sitting at a fucking table saying, and then, trying to outdo each other. This movie is fucking awful, dude. It's so fucking bad. Like, I walked out insulted, like I'd been punched in the stomach. I seriously felt like a cartoon where like the jackass thing appears. I felt like that. I felt like I had a dunce cap on my head when I walked out of this fucking film. I actually felt embarrassed to have people see my face because they knew what movie I just saw. And I would be looked at as a stupid fucking idiot if people knew that I saw that movie, and I chose to. I actually wanted my money back.
I thought you said you didn't see the first one.
I didn't see the first one.
Then why did you say that it's a carbon copy of the first one?
Because basically, right, I looked into the plot of the first one, and it is literally Top Gun graduates being trained to go on a really dangerous mission that they need special training for, and then while on the mission, one of them dies, and that's like the end of the fucking film. And here's the thing. Again, a bunch of fucking filler in the first one. I know, because that piano scene that I talked about in fucking, Top Gun Maverick was ripped to a T from the fucking first one. If you look up Top Gun piano scene, it is literally the same scene with different people, and they threw in a flashback, a traumatic flashback. It is literally a carbon copy of the first. I don't even have to see the movie to know that. They quite literally ripped the scene like T for T out of the goddamn first fucking film. Like, I was with people who saw the first one, and they literally said that is the first movie with different people in it. And I believe them. And after seeing that they ripped a scene exactly from the first one, this movie is 100% a carbon copy. I don't even have to fucking see the first one to know that this movie is a carbon copy. And Top Gun Maverick is a fucking piece of shit. Whoever fucking said this movie was good, you're a fucking idiot, dude. You have like Asperger's or something. You're a fucking tard. This movie's terrible. This is an awful film. So with that, I unironically, no joke, give this movie a fucking 1 out of 10. This movie is ass. ass.
Well, speaking of movies that suck ass,
Wait.
I am I'm seething because you forced me to watch Let's Be Evil. I
Yeah.
didn't want
Yep.
to. I
Let's be
originally
evil.
originally I wasn't going to because I'm like, okay, this is probably just gonna be another one of those movies that people say is good, and it's not.
No, dude,
And
dude,
I was ready.
no. Okay, let's make it clear. I told you the movie was bad from the get-go. Don't fucking try and say that I told you it was good. I told you it was bad from the get-go. I just
Oh no,
want I just
I was
wanted you to
I was
watch it so we could talk about it on the podcast. Because legitimately, if we both have our fucking like opinion on this movie, it could be like an hour-long segment if we really want to talk about the fucking movie, right? And how like the ending makes no fucking sense, and how like none of the plot is developed. They just wanted to get kids and adults in a facility, and then they didn't know what to do after that.
damn, this new Squid Game is popular. How
It's
about let's make
no,
something
fuck
like
you.
But hey, but instead of making it unique, how about we set up a plot around these fucking rip-off Google Glass things?
Dude, that's exactly what I thought when I saw the fucking movie. Was like, it's literally Google Glass. What the fuck?
And like when you put them on, you see like different colors, like you're on some sort of hallucinogenic drug, and it's just not
Dude,
real at all.
I was about to say, like, it was really fucking stupid, and it just made it really weird. It's like, so you're telling me that, like, if the people who directed the movie wanted to, they could say, oh yeah, literally all of it was a hallucination. Like, as soon as those three people put their glasses on, it was a hallucination. Like, you could argue that the whole fucking kid testing facility is not even real. And the kids, all of them, never existed. Like, and I hate that because it's fucking lazy. The reason why you can make up whatever fucking ending you want is because they made it so goddamn loose that anything could fill it in. So before we fucking get into this movie, because we're talking about the ending and stuff, would you do the honors of explaining what this movie is about?
Honestly, I don't fucking know.
Okay,
Because
so
I was so disinterested in this fucking
dude,
movie that most of it is blocked out.
here's the thing.
But I'm
The movie wasn't shot badly. Like, the camera work is just average. The color palette, like how it looks, the lights
oh
are
yeah,
kind of cool. The facility looks cool, but in terms of acting and plot, it's like F tier. It's terrible. Like, this is the most boring movie I've ever seen in my life, probably. Like, Top Gun Maverick was bad. This movie is boring as fuck. Like, and in my opinion, that makes it worse than Top Gun Maverick, because I didn't want to fucking fall asleep to Top Gun Maverick. It was terrible, but I was dying of laughter. Let's Be Evil made me want to fucking fall asleep. In fact, I almost did, like, multiple times. My eyes were closed, and I, like, opened them up, and I thought, like, minutes had passed. It was only, like, a couple of seconds. Like, I actually felt like I was falling asleep to this movie. But, basically, I will attempt to explain the plot of this 2019 film, directed by Who Gives a Fuck and published by No One Cares. But essentially, Jenny, I think, is it Jenny? It is, right?
I think I don't
Okay.
even give a shit.
Essentially, Jenny is a relatable college girl, and her grandma is dying of a bad disease that they don't fucking tell you what it is. They just say, yup, she's not doing good. And then she's like, hey, make sure you give her the medicine before I leave. Like, and she's like, hey, you know how my grandma gets right now? Like, they don't fucking say anything. They don't even say what the disease is, because it doesn't matter. But she gets a call out of nowhere from a facility, right? And they're like, hey, we reviewed your application. You're in. Give us, like, your social security number, your name, your vitals, your address, literally everything, so that we can track you when you get into the building. So we can like program all of your shit into these glasses. And then she's like, oh, okay, and then just does it. So then she leaves and she gets to this underground facility where she meets the most unlikable fucking characters ever. Let's be fair. The most unlikable characters ever. Called, what the fuck was it, Reynard or some shit?
I think so.
Or like Reynolds? It was something fucking stupid. Like,
Reginald? Raymond? Who gives a shit, basically?
let me fucking see. No, it was Cassandra and Darby. Yeah, fucking Darby. The worst fucking name ever. Darby. But anyway, Cassandra, not Jenny. It's really the same thing, but whatever. Cassandra goes in to this little small white table, and Darby and Tiggs are there, and they introduce themselves, and they put glasses on, and they immediately go to sleep. And then they have a tour of the facility, and then they immediately go to sleep. And then they meet all of the kids that are like undergoing insane testing to become geniuses because they think that like the generation is becoming too stupid and they need to save it. So these kids are wearing these weird alternate reality glasses that pretty much change your entire view of the world, essentially. Like, the facility is completely dark without these glasses on, but when you put the glasses on, there's like multicolored lights and shit everywhere. There's an AI called Ariel that looks like fucking that bitch from Halo, Cortana or whatever the fuck. That bitch from Halo. It looks exactly like her. I'm pretty sure they stole it. And she's like the AI that helps people in this facility. So they put these glasses on that completely fucking warp their sense of reality. And they meet these kids that are doing things like fucking, clinical psychology and like fucking cell fucking division theory and like nuclear physics and shit, right? And so they meet them and they eat lunch with them and then they put them to bed and then they go to bed and then the next day they walk around with the kids and they eat lunch with them again and then Cassandra bumps into one of them and then they go to bed and then the next night they eat lunch with the kids and they explore this room called like the fucking learning room or whatever, where they do puzzles and become geniuses, I guess. And Cassandra, right, takes a shower and she realizes, right, that her clothes. Wait, no, that's wrong. Before that, right, Ariel wakes Cassandra up and is like, hey, one of the children is not in bed. So she goes in there and she's like, hey, kid, if you're in here, go to bed. And then it doesn't happen. So she goes into the bathroom, right, because she thinks that she hears the kid in there, right? And then she opens up the door and there's a message carved into the door. And I can't even fucking remember what the message is because I literally just can't be fucked to remember. It doesn't even matter anyway. And she tries to show Tiggs the message on the stall, but guess what? The kid is back in bed, and there's no message on the stall. And then the next day, they meet with the candidates, and they eat food with them, and then they go to bed. And then fucking Cassandra decides, I want to take a shower, and her clothes are taken away. And she opens up the door, and like all the doors, like she opens the stall door, and like the bathroom door closes on her, and she sees darkness coming at her from every angle, and then it's not real. And so she calls Tiggs into the bathroom, and somehow she has clothes on now, and she walks back to her fucking room, and her clothes are on her fucking stand or whatever. And then randomly the next night, fucking one of the kids is gone from bed again, and then they go and try and fucking find where the kid is, and then all of a sudden the whole facility turns red, and the kids have taken over, and now all the kids are gone from their beds. And so the kids, they want to kill because they want to have fun, I guess. That's all they said was, hey, we just want to have fun now. So they don't really do anything. They kind of like knock on a door and scare somebody, so they hide in the wardrobe, and then they type on her computer, I know you were in the wardrobe, which is really fucking retarded. Darby gets beat up by these kids and like tied to a chair, and then Cassandra and Tiggs just run around the facility, and the kids just kind of like appear. They never do anything. They just like appear and stand there and then disappear, and then they get really scared. And they're running around the facility trying to like turn the lights on and like fucking escape or whatever. And then they're like, oh shit, we just remembered that Darby is a person that we know. So they go back for him, and he's tied to a chair, and they untie him. And then they ask Ariel, the AI, like, hey, how do we escape? And she's like, you could use the old ducts, the old air ducts, to get to a other part of this underground experimental facility that's not being used anymore. First of all, that's fucking retarded. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why that doesn't make any fucking sense. It's an underground facility. I mean, no fucking sense that there's a part that they just closed off and don't use anymore. That's fucking stupid. So they go, and while they're in the vents, Ariel, because of the kids being so smart, has been deactivated. So they're just trying to find their way the entire time, right? And Darby gets kidnapped, and I guess he gets strangled with a plastic bag over his head. And then he's dead. And then Tiggs gets dragged off, and then she's dead. And then it's only Cassandra and this other fucking little kid that I completely forgot to mention. Hey, I'll mention it really quick. There's this girl that Cassandra bumps into. She's friends. The mean kids lock her in the fucking elevator shaft. She saves her. You're all caught up. That's it. You're all caught up. Now they're friends now, I guess. So it's Cassandra and this fucking bitch called like Ashley or something, this kid. I'm just gonna call her fucking Ashley. It's probably not right, but I don't give a fuck. So Cassandra and Ashley make it to the other part of the facility, and then fucking Ashley, right, like removes a contact lens that has the same technology as these alternate reality glasses, and then she's like, cool, huh? And then fucking the Cortana bitch, Ariel, shows up, and she's like, oh, my apologies, I seem to have been controlled by her this whole time. And then it turns out that she was the bad one. And I guess all the other kids are like fucking, I don't know, fake, I guess, because they immediately appear behind her, you know? Like teleport behind her. I was like, so I guess they're fake. I guess Darby and Tiggs were fake. Even though that makes no fucking sense, because she didn't have the glasses on when she first met him. You know what I'm saying? They put the glasses on while they were at the same fucking table, so it makes no goddamn sense that they're fake. And essentially, she was the bad one. She's like, oh, you didn't learn. This is a game, and you just lost. And then it cuts back to the beginning of the movie of her picking up the phone and answering. But this time, when they ask her for her stuff, she says no. And I was like, so it's not repeating. What the fuck just happened then? Like, how does that make any fucking sense? They go back in time, or they're like seeing back in time or something, and she says no to the facility instead of yes. So I guess all of it was fake or something? I don't fucking know. Like, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. Also, nothing happens in this movie. 99% of the movie is literally them walking around the facility talking, eating with the kids and putting them to bed. That's 99% of the movie. It is boring as fuck. They literally said, let's make a movie about really smart kids that kill babysitters. Let's make it underground. Okay, now what? No idea. Just fucking wing it. We got the main premise down. Fuck it. Let's go. And it's like, so they didn't have any fucking, like, okay, in this movie, there is no, like, rising action. There's no beginning, middle, end, really. Like, things just go from 0 to 100 basically immediately. It's really fucking stupid, and nothing is explained. Why are the kids evil? I don't know. They just wanted to be now. Okay, I guess. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what's the ending? I don't know. Whatever you want, because we didn't really care. It's so fucking bad, dude. Like, you've seen the movie. I give this movie, like, a 0 out of 10. I gave fucking Top Gun Maverick a 1 out of 10 because it fails at being a movie so badly. But let's be evil, I wouldn't even really, like, consider a movie because nothing happens really. They just walk around for half the movie, there's no plot, and the ending makes no sense. At least fucking Top Gun Maverick had a beginning, middle, and end, and a fucking plot. It was the shittiest, most lazy, boring, basic plot ever, but they had one. Let's Be Evil does not. This movie's terrible. I give it a 0 out of 10. Top Gun Maverick was at least a movie. Let's Be Evil, I don't even think is a movie, really. Like, I want your opinion on this. Because I hated this movie. That's why I had you watch it. I want you to tell me what you think of this movie. From the beginning of the movie to the end, what do you think of this movie?
Um, well, firstly, it's fucking lazy. You thought Top Gun Maverick was lazy? No, this is like if when you open Webster Dictionary and look for the word lazy, you see this movie's poster next to it. Cause like you said, it opens up. Grandma's got movie disease. No one knows what the fuck it is 'cause they never explain it to you.
Grandma's got movie disease.
This chick gets main character gets a mysterious text on her phone and is like, "Oh wow, this thing is asking me for my personal information
And
so much so
hey,
they're
hey,
asking
hey.
me for
Don't,
my vitals."
don't forget
Sure.
don't forget the main reason why she goes, because they offer her a lot of money. Also, why does she not leave when bad things start happening? Because of money. This movie is so fucking lazy. Like, already, yeah. The grandma has movie disease. Young teen wants money to save movie grandma. Goes to do thing that's very clearly sketchy and nobody would actually fucking do because wow, big paycheck.
like, seriously, come the fuck on. Like, are you, when on in the history of the internet has anyone actually ever fallen for those types of scams where they say give us your information and we'll give you money?
Dude, you'd be
Like,
surprised because on Twitter somebody said, "Hey, send me $2,000 in Bitcoin and I'll send you $4,000 back." And those people made like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So people are
well, to be
fucking
fair,
stupid.
it's also Twitter, so.
I guess, yeah. That is the dumbest fucking idiots over there. Which is why we have a Twitter at www.twitter.com / the Cesspit Podcast. We'll see you there.
And then you get the fucking quote unquote middle of the movie, and that's just where it completely falls apart. The only thing I liked about this movie is knockoff Cortana, and even that's stretching it, because female AIs that look like a woman is
With,
completely
yeah, a naked woman with breasts and a huge butt. Is,
Ooh, I haven't seen that before.
um, yeah. This movie is really fucking lazy. You forgot to mention the best part of the fucking middle of the movie, where they first get to the compound, and it's the most awkward dialogue ever, where Darby, Tiggs, and Cassandra introduce themselves, and they basically say, "Hi, I'm Darby, I'm Cassandra, I'm Tiggs," and then never talk to each other for at least 20 minutes in movie time. They don't say anything to each other. Like 20 minutes. Like they just say nothing to each other. Like for the first wait, what? For the first 45 minutes of this hour and a half movie, Cassandra, Tiggs, and Darby fucking hate each other. And then out of nowhere, they randomly are like best friends. Literally, they go to sleep one night and then wake up and they're best friends now. For no reason. Like, I actually remember, they talk about how they like coffee, and then Tiggs and Cassandra are best friends now.
my god, you like coffee too? Oh my
Like,
god,
you
that's
remember
my
that scene, right? When they're like sitting in the fucking dining room that's like all red and they get coffee and they make a joke about how they hate the coffee despite the fact that they said that they liked the coffee like 10 minutes ago. Do you remember that? Where they say how they like the coffee and then they're like, oh, there's a joke later on where Cassandra asks Tiggs to do the night shift with her and she's like, any reason to drink that shitty ass fucking, coffee? And it's like, didn't you just fucking say that you loved the coffee and wanted to keep drinking it forever like 10 minutes ago? Like, do you remember that?
Yeah, my excuse is that she's a Leo.
I'm a Leo, you fucking cuck. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Legit, what is that supposed to mean?
Get it? Because horoscopes are fucking retarded.
I
And
mean,
this
I
bitch is
do.
fucking retarded.
I don't know why you had to call out fucking Leo, though.
That's just my scapegoat, to be honest. I don't know many others.
Why don't you use your own, then?
Fuck, what is mine?
You're a fucking turd. Like, you're a fucking idiot.
No, I'm genuine
And
right
you,
now.
yeah, and you're genuinely an idiot.
Let's see, October. Oh, it's Scorpio. Hello. I am dumb.
I thought you were
Not
born
as
in
dumb as
May.
you.
I thought you were born in May.
How?
I
How
don't
the
know.
fuck?
I don't know. I thought you were.
Nah, B, I'm a Halloween baby. Fuck you.
I thought you were born in like May or June.
Am I that stupid?
I was born in fucking August. I almost just said I was born in July for some reason. I was definitely not. I was definitely not born in July. I was born in August, not July. I fucking wish I was born in July. Because if I was born in July, I'd already be 21. So I could guzzle elk.
Elk.
Elky!
And then, not to mention,
Dude, you only got through like fucking the first 5 minutes of the movie. Continue on with your fucking review, man. You have like fucking ADHD so bad.
I'm self-diagnosed, actually.
Literally, as soon as you... Okay, the last thing that you said was they get into the facility, and then you stopped your review. Fucking continue on.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, they get into the facility, main character goes, hi, I'm main character. Then the fucking two or three side characters like, hi, we're side characters A, B, and C. And then they just fuck off for like 20 minutes, like you said. And then...
They just go and do their own stuff for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and it's not even like... I don't understand what they're getting paid for, because it's not like they're doing a job. Alls they show them do is walk down a hall, like take a shower, walk down a hall, like look at the kids eating, walk down a hall, look at the kids in the playroom, and like walk down another hall and go to bed. That's all they fucking do.
It's like they're playing The Sims, but somehow more shitty.
Yeah, and like apparently for some fucking reason, right? Darby has like the day shift, and Cassandra has the night shift, and Tiggs has like the fucking middle shift, I guess. Which doesn't make any sense. Like the afternoon shift, I guess. So they literally just never talk to each other. You know, and it doesn't make any fucking sense at all. But if you remember how dumb the movie is, why do they all go to bed at the same time if they work different shifts?
I know! That's the thing that perplexed me throughout the fucking movie. If they work different shifts, why are they going to bed at the same time?
Yeah, I don't know how, but somehow, someone who works the night shift, someone who works the morning shift, and someone who works the afternoon shift, I guess, all go to bed at the same time, and they don't wake up at the same time, right? But they all go to bed at the exact same time. And it's like, one of you works the night shift, cuck. How does that make any fucking sense? That you're all sleeping at night. Like, shouldn't you be doing your fucking job? That and the fact that, you ever notice how they're all awake at the same time? The exception being Darby, the only one who's not awake at the same time. Like, so how are every single character except for one awake at the same time, and they go to bed at the same time, and they work different shifts? Movie, how the fuck does that work? That doesn't make any sense. And it's not like I'm fucking up here. No, they literally in the movie say, hey, you work night shift. Literally. And yet they still go to bed at the same time. All three of them.
It's I. Is it small? I don't know. It's shit like that that just irks you for some reason because it's one of those things that
I was about to say, if you're gonna say it's a nitpick, it's definitely not a fucking nitpick. Like shit like that is like important because like if you can't manage some shit like that, like that's not like digging really deep into it. It's hey, you work different shifts. You shouldn't be fucking sleeping at the same time. That's basic shit. It's not like I'm fucking doing some really sleuth detective work. That's basic shit. Like really basic shit.
I don't know about you, but when I was working at 7-Eleven, I surely didn't wake up at the same fucking time every time when I worked there. That's just not how it works. If you have a night shift, you're probably gonna be sleeping throughout the day and getting up at like
Yes.
8, 9, 10 at a push.
Right? Yeah. Like it's really weird because like what another thing that makes no sense is that by the way, Darby, Tiggs, and Cassandra were hired as like fucking chaperones for all the genius kids that are so fucking involved in their classes that it doesn't even look like they're alive. Like seriously, they're not even alive. They don't eat, they don't talk, they're just doing work, right? And somehow they needed a chaperone now, but they didn't need a chaperone for the whole rest of the time the fucking thing was operational.
Yes, yes. So we only
Like
needed these people
they just decide
for us.
they just decide that the kids need chaperones just out of nowhere for no reason because because of movie plot. Like there's no mention of there ever being fucking like chaperones before. You know, no mention at all. So they just said, "Hey, we need chaperones now." Why? Well, here's the thing. We need to make a movie and we need 3 more characters in there somehow. So we need chaperones.
Maybe this is just a wild crackpot theory. Maybe the kids don't work at full capacity when they don't have chaperones because they loathe for like I don't know a parental figure or something. I don't know. I
Oh
just
yeah,
had to
they
think
definitely really want that parental figure when they kill him in 3 days.
oh yeah.
They kill they kill them all in 3 fucking days, like, and they didn't even do anything bad. It's not like these chaperones were assholes that like beat the kids. They were nice and actually cared, and the kids were like, "Hey, you know what? Since we're down here working, you said that we need to have fun and play, so we're gonna kill you guys." And it's like, what? It's like, okay, I guess that's so fucking stupid.
And then then you get to the fucking end of the movie, and it's like, oh, it turns out it never happened. Maybe we don't fucking know. We just made the movie.
I was about to say, yeah, let's say, yeah, the ending is turns out everything was fake. Or was it? It turns out nothing happened. Or did it? This movie is fucking good. Or is it? Like, that's the fucking end of the movie. It's literally just a bunch of questions. Like, well, what if the ending meant this? What if it meant this? Like, the ending is literally so fucking, like, you know, pagash about it that you could literally make your own fucking ending. Like, anything. You could literally say, oh, well, you know what I think happened? Is that woman, that little girl is the overlord, and there is no program to fucking, you know. You could say that the very beginning of the movie where they're talking about how the generation is becoming stupider and they need a program, you could say, well, all of that was fake. And it was that little girl's plan to do that so that she could make this underground facility so that she could kill adults. And that works as an ending, because they didn't fucking say anything at the ending. They left it completely open to interpretation, so you could say, oh yeah, that little girl, that's Saddam Hussein in a costume, and it might fucking work. It doesn't make any sense. You could say, oh yeah, that old man at the beginning who said we need to make a program, that it's actually the little girl in disguise. Like, you could fucking say anything and it could work, because there's no ending.
My theory, the grandma had a contingency plan for if she died. I mean, think about it. After she dies, bitch gets a text. Coincidence? I think not.
What? The grandma, the grandma didn't die in the movie. The grandma did not die in the movie. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. It's a contingency plan.
Oh, okay.
That way, if she did, fuck, I didn't get this far, to be honest.
Yeah, that's exactly what the fucking directors did. It's exactly what you just did there. That's what the directors did. They said, "Oh fuck, we didn't get this far. We don't know what to do."
I didn't think I'd get this far.
It's like, "Oh fuck, now we need to actually make an ending that makes sense." And it's like, let's just make an ending so bland that anything could make sense. She fucking goes down to the basement, and the little girl Ashley is bad, you know? And so then let's just show a time vortex where she looks at herself saying no to the facility. It's like, oh, what the fuck? You think what it is like, I don't even fucking know. The only thing that I can possibly think of that makes sense is that that girl is so fucking smart that she changed the timeline so that she said no or something so that she can kill her there and nobody will suspect anything because she said no to going to the facility.
See, you know what genuinely pisses me off though about endings like that is that when they're done really well. Like I haven't seen the movie yet, but from what I've heard, Joker from 2019 does it.
That's
really
a really,
well.
really, really good ending where it's like, did it happen or did it not happen? That's a really good ending.
And then you compare it to fucking Let's Be Evil, and it's like this just feels lazy because everything leading up to this point doesn't even feel like it should. Chronologically makes sense.
I was about to say,
Joker,
yeah, like
yeah,
the whole movie didn't even like fucking really like it felt like things were just happening to happen. Like they just were saying like we have to do something. Like something has to happen. And like I think that they tried to, I don't even fucking know, show off their set designs for too long, and then it's like, well, something needs to happen. We only have a fucking half hour of the movie left. And it's like, oh fuck, let's just make everything happen at once with no explanation. They're not gonna care.
They'll be too distracted by the prettiness of the visuals to even give a shit.
Yeah, actually, the visuals were not bad, but the movie is fucking awful. Like, the whole time, I was just sitting there being like, what the fuck? Like, wait a minute, what's going on? Like, why is that happening? What happened? What is happening? What the fuck? Like, the entire time, I'm sitting there, confused, and like, here's the thing. You would think that, like, with movies that are confusing, they keep you hooked. No, this movie is the most confusing movie ever, but guess what? It is also the most boring movie ever.
You know what's weird? I don't remember what this movie was classified as. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be horror or a thriller.
No. It is supposed to be horror, and it's not scary.
I did not get scared a single fucking bit.
No, dude, that's the thing. Nothing scary even fucking happened, and like even when scary things did, they were shot so fucking badly. Like, they just, like, here's the thing. The scene with Darby was so slow and long, and the music was so weird that, like, I saw Darby die, and I kind of giggled a little bit. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Do you remember Darby's death scene where, like, all the kids get on top of him, and they don't really do anything? They're kind of just, like, I don't know, like, touching him almost with their hands. They're not, like, punching him or anything. And then all of a sudden, he's just laying on the ground, not even trying to escape. He's just laying on the ground, like, accepting it. And then they just, I guess, out of their asshole, just, like, pull out, like, aluminum foil. No, it's, like, Reynolds wrap. They, like, pull out, like, fucking, like, cling wrap. And they just start slowly, very slowly, just wrapping it around his face as he just puts his hands, like, in the sky and, like, is like, no! And then he dies.
Oh no, they're killing me slowly. If only I had a means of defense.
Dude, yeah, it's like, oh no, they're slowly applying plastic wrap onto my face and twisting it around and around and around. Oh no, I can't do anything. It's literally that scene in Austin Powers where he has the fucking cement roller or whatever, and he's just like, ah, and he just stands there and gets run over by the steamroller. That's literally fucking Darby's death scene. Is no, and he just fucking stands there, just saying, oh, and just not doing anything and dies. Like,
Dude, they're fucking kids. They're not bodybuilders.
that
Kick
dude,
them,
that's
motherfucker.
okay. I thought I was a fucking idiot. That's what I thought. I was like, I don't care how smart these kids are. They're like 12. Literally. You like, this is a grown man. Beat their ass. What the fuck are you doing? And here's the thing. Some of them are like 12, 13-year-old girls, and some of them are boys. Some of them are even younger than 12, I think. They're young. Like, really young. And it's two grown women and a grown man. I don't care what the fuck you say. Even those two fucking grown women could have beaten the shit out of these little kids. Like, what the fuck? They just don't fight. Like, they see these kids and it's like, oh no, they're super smart, and then run away. It's like, dude, take a fucking weapon and go beat their ass, dude. Go beat their ass. And they just don't. Like, to be fair, there's only like 10 kids. Like, I know that you're outnumbered, but it's 10 like 12-year-olds against like 3 grown ass adults. And none of them have weapons. Like,
it's like an
I
army of puppy.
I don't know why. I don't know why they're so scared of the kids. The kids are like, they're not doing, like, they're just kids. Even though they're super smart, there's no reason why, like, Darby or something, right, didn't just say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna, like, take a fucking, like, tray or something and just beat the shit out of these idiots.
Throw hot coffee on them. You've established you like it, and now you don't. Use it as... gain another like for it. Just splash them with it. What the fuck
Fucking
are they
hit
gonna
him with
do?
the coffee pot. Do something. Like, the whole entire time, right? The people in the movie are the biggest pussies on the planet. They, like, sometimes one kid, just one, will be, like, at the end of a hallway, and they'll just turn around and run away as fast as they can. Never mind that it's 2 grown women against one, like, 12-year-old. They run for no fucking reason. Like, and people are gonna be, well, I mean, they are very aggressive and they're super smart, and it is 10 to 2. It is 10 to 3. It's like, bitch, I don't fucking care. I'm 20, and if there was like 10, 12-year-olds trying to fucking kill me, I'd beat their ass. I wouldn't run away. I'd beat their ass. I'd be like, you know what? I think I have a pretty good shot of fucking rocking these kids. I think I have a pretty good shot of winning.
The only thing I could conceivably understand is if they're so intelligent, they know
that they're
like,
making them scared. That's what I was gonna say. Is that they're so intelligent and so smart that they're making them that scared. And that's so fucking stupid, though. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And guess what? You're filling it in. You know why? Because they didn't fucking fill it in. They didn't come up with an answer. So we gotta fucking fill it in. That's this whole movie in like a sentence. You fill it in. Because we didn't. That sums up the entire movie. Fucking dog shit ass fucking movie, dude.
I don't remember who directed this movie, but I'm gonna guess M. Night Shyamalan. Cause this is just so fucking shit.
Bro, you can't do my boy M. Night Shyamalan like that. He's had some shitty movies for sure, but like, he's not that bad.
I don't know. That twist was pretty fucking bad. Oh, it just never happened. Or did it? Yeah, that's exactly what I want to see when I'm watching this clusterfuck.
Yeah, but M. Night Shyamalan has never had twists that bad. They have never been that bad. They've been dumb, but they've never been that bad. Because at least M. Night Shyamalan, even if his twist is retarded, he sat down and fucking wrote the twist. He didn't just say, fuck it, throw something in. He actually thought about it and developed it. Even though it's a shitty plot, it's a fully developed shitty plot. This whole movie isn't fully developed. There's not a single fully developed thing in this fucking movie. I would say that the fucking actors aren't even fully developed. And that can be taken 2 ways, and that's fucking hilarious. because they're not fully developed, and some of the actors are kids. I'd say that the fucking adult actors and the entire crew and cast of people who wrote this movie, I'd say none of them are fully developed. They're all like fucking 10 years of age mentally. Fucking idiots. Moronic fucks.
There's a single child standing between the two of us grown women.
Run! We must run! We're outnumbered. It's too strong for us. We've never seen a kid before. Also, if you really think about that, did you notice how the entire cast acts like they've never seen a child before and they're like bewildered by these kids?
Whoa! Why are these people so tiny? I've never seen this before.
Dude, they do act super fucking weird around the children though in the movie. Like the adults legitimately act like they've never seen a kid before. They act like they don't know what fucking studying is. They act like they don't know what school is. They're like, "Oh yeah, they're studying for school." They're like, "Whoa!" And they're all like fucking impressed and shit. I was like, "Yeah, these are 12." They're like, 12! And then they fucking try and like talk. Then they try and talk to them about like fucking things that like a fucking 2-year-old would like, and they're super awkward. I was like, have these people never gone to school and never like seen a child? Because that would explain a fucking lot if that was the case. Like, here's the thing. If the 3 fucking chaperones, if Tiggs, Darby, and Cassandra had never seen a child and didn't go to school, the movie actually makes more sense that way. Because that explains a fucking lot.
They dropped out at kindy. And
yeah, like they're actually fucking stupid, I guess. And they spent their entire lives like locked in their room playing like fucking like Fortnite.
Too bad the movie didn't explain that. We had to make that conclusion ourselves.
Exactly, yeah. It's like the reason why these characters are so fucking weird is because they spent all of their life, including like from age 5 to fucking like 26, they spent all of their lives in their room playing like Fortnite and Call of Duty, and they never have seen a child before in their whole life. And it's like, oh, now the movie makes sense. A little bit more.
Which isn't saying much.
Yeah, because that just means that the way the characters act makes fucking sense. But guess what? The whole plot of the movie still doesn't make any sense.
Oh no, there's an army of 10 children and they have us outnumbered 10-3. Let's run the opposite way instead of clocking their fucking skulls.
Yeah, I was about to say, instead of like beating their ass, let's just, not fucking do it. Let's just run. I'm sure that those kids are like fucking... Not the fact that like somehow the kids controlled the facility all along, because remember that fucking Ariel worked for her. So I'm just assuming that the entire thing is fake. Like all the kids were fake. Darby was fake. Tiggs is fake. The only people who are real are Ashley, the little evil girl, and fucking Cassandra. That's what I'm going to assume. And the whole point was to like fucking see if she could pass the test and then get money. Because like she said, hey, this is a game and you lost. Maybe she lost the money. So maybe she's so fucking smart that she's sending Cassandra to a universe where she says no to the facility because she failed the test. She wasn't smart enough, so she didn't get the money. Maybe the entire movie was Cassandra's test. That kind of makes sense. A little bit. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it at least makes a tiny bit of sense. It still doesn't explain why the fuck this girl is doing it and how she's a billionaire.
Yeah, this fucking 13-year-old girl is somehow operating this entire facility, which I have to assume is fucking massive.
Created these insane fucking ARG goggles and shit that she controls. A whole facility that she controls, like...
Not to mention, an autonomous artificial intelligence.
Yeah, because it is literally autonomous. Like, it thinks for itself, it does things by itself, and then Ashley controls it, and then she's like, hey, I'm sorry, I appeared to be under control of Ashley the whole time. And it's like, so this, she like has a fucking like intelligence of her own. Like she's like self-aware and shit. She even's like, hey, I cannot experience emotions, I can't do this, I can't do that. But she tries to make jokes. She literally has her own fucking like, you know, self-awareness. She's an actual person, you know. And it's like, how the fuck are you so smart that you plan for that? Like you plan for the AI to not fuck it up. Like it's so fucking stupid.
God, this movie is it's a slow motion train wreck.
It is really fucking garbage. Like it's really bad. Like none of the actors anyone has ever fucking heard of. This movie is like bombed with fucking horrible reviews. Like normally, right, bad movies will have like an occasional like 5-star review. So like the average will be like 2 stars or 3 stars. This one had like an average of like 1 point something stars. 1.7 stars, I think. This movie has an average rating of below 2 stars.
Jeez.
That's out of 10. Out of 10. Below 2 stars on average. This movie is terrible. Nobody likes this movie. It is really bad. Like, anyone with a brain can look at this movie and just be bored out of their fucking mind. Because if you have one brain cell, it's like, wow, nothing is happening. Nothing makes any sense. There's no plot. The ending doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes fucking sense. Things are just happening to happen. Like, this is a fucking dog shit movie. Which is why, like, Top Gun, I give a 1 out of 10. It's fucking god awful. But at least I can laugh at it. You know, whereas Let's Be Evil is boring as hell and nothing makes any sense. Like, it's not enjoyable. At least fucking Top Gun Maverick is so bad it's enjoyable. Let's Be Evil is just boring. You can make your movie good, make it bad. Don't make it boring. Because at least if it's bad, you know, I can watch it as a joke and maybe be entertained by it. If your movie is Let's Be Evil, it doesn't matter if I was drunk and high. Let's Be Evil would never be enjoyable. Ever. It's just fucking terrible. I just fucking fall asleep. Like, it's so boring and nothing makes any sense. Like, it's the kind of movie, if you got real high, right, that movie would ruin your high. It would kill the fuck out of it. It would actually sober you up. If you smoked a bunch of weed and watched Let's Be Evil, your high would be dead by the time the movie was over. Like, actually dead. It's so fucking boring and nonsensical and bad. And it's a completely different kind of nonsensical than Top Gun Maverick is. Because Top Gun Maverick is just, you know, hey, movie logic. Just put random shit in there, just fucking make people survive, nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just movie logic.
And you know what made it worse is
But, like,
the fucking
Let's Be Evil... Let's Be Evil isn't even movie logic. It's literally no logic at all. It's the absence of logic. It's so bad. Anyway, I interrupted you. Continue with what you were going to say.
So, the movie title itself doesn't really make any sense either, because you would think, oh, Let's Be Evil, okay, something about either the main character or one of the side characters turns evil. But
No, the kids turn evil. I guess the kids just say, hey, let's be evil, for no reason. They just are like, let's be evil, guys. Like, let's do it. Why not? Let's do it.
So it feels like
let's kill 3 innocent people just because. Let's do it. Just because. You know what? Let's do it.
So the movie title itself doesn't even make any sense because it has no bearing until like the final 30 minutes to the
yeah,
of the
like
movie?
the final 25-30 minutes where they decide to be evil. The first hour of the movie, nothing happens. Like literally nothing happens. Walking around and talking. And then the last 30 minutes, they're like, "Hey, let's be evil."
Oh god, this is just fucking terrible.
If anything, the title of the movie is like taking a piss and a spit and shit on your face. It's like, let's be evil. Hey, nothing makes sense in our movie. It's just, hey, let's be evil. It's almost like they're fucking slapping you in the face with that movie title. For real. Like, it really is.
God, this genuinely made me upset.
Dude, I knew this movie was terrible. I just wanted you to see it because I wanted to talk about it on here, and I wanted your opinions on this movie.
Well, my opinion is that it's dog shit, and I would rather grate my dick against a fucking cheese grater.
I was about to say,
I would.
my final review for Top Gun Maverick is 1 out of 10. Absolute fucking garbage. It is a joke. A fucking awful movie. My final review of Let's Be Evil, 0 out of 10. This is not a movie.
It's one of the motion pictures ever made.
It's like I said, I don't even think it's a fucking movie. It seems like a fucking like student project, like a fucking experimental film. Like it's terrible. Somebody made that as like a fucking art project.
Yeah, and then some big ass company was like, "Hey, there's some potential behind the madness. Let's give it a bigger budget." And then they wasted it on the special effects and nothing else.
Yeah, so all the actors are fucking terrible and shit. Dude, you know what I want to do? Oh my fucking god, I'm a genius. You know what we should do? We should make a new series on this. And I don't know what we're going to call it. Maybe we're going to call it like Nostalgia Trip or something like that, right? But I was thinking, right, about something. Basically, I was going through Netflix, right? And I saw that Total Drama Island is on Netflix. And I just thought, like, I saw this when I was like 10 or 11. I'm almost 21 now. I want to look back on it and see if it's good or not. What we should do is we should legitimately make a series on this fucking channel, right? Both of us. We should make a series where we look back on cartoons from a while ago and we talk about what we think of them, if they're good or bad, you know? We should totally make a series and call it like a look back or like something like that.
I like that idea. I can assure you now that Total Drama Island is as good as you remember.
I
'Cause
actually looked back on it, and a lot of people are gonna give me shit for this. It's good, but like, because I'm older, it's just kind of boring now, I guess. Like, a lot of the jokes aren't really funny. Now that I'm looking back on it, a lot of the challenges are really like basic, and they're not super exciting. You know, not a lot happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good. The characters are good. You know, I mean, a lot of this stuff is funny. The characters are likable. It's just that, like, it's a good show. It's just kind of boring now. Like, not a lot really catches my interest in the show. Like, I'm still watching it. I'm on, like, episode fucking 13, I think. You know, so about halfway through. And like, I think that it's that knowing exactly what's going to happen, like who's going to be kicked off and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, kind of ruins it. But also, it's challenges that you've seen before, so like the novelty factor kind of wears off. And now that you're older, it's like, hey, some of these challenges seemed really awesome when I was younger, but now I realize that they're not that cool, because most of them are just, hey, get in a fucking boat and paddle like 3 miles, or do a 2-mile run, and it's like, or like stay awake for a long time. Like, seriously, when you really start to think about it, it's like, you know what? This isn't really as cool as I remember it being. It's not a bad show by any means. It's just not as exciting as I remember it being.
You know what that reminds me of? I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but when I was really young, I had a really hard time playing video games because my brain was so small, and there's been times where I've just left games completely unfinished because it's like I cannot get through this level no matter how many times I try. But I go back to them when I'm a lot older, and I'm like, why the fuck did I have trouble with this? This is like the most baby shit ever.
Yeah. I've experienced that before. Like, I remember that a long time ago, right? And this was seriously, I think, when, like, fucking Dark Souls 2 was relatively new. You know, in, like, 2013. and we had an Xbox One, and I could not for the life of me do anything with that game. And then I played it as an adult, and it's a shitty game, and I don't really want to finish it. It's easy as fuck, but it's boring. It's easy, it's boring, it's slow, it's fucking bad. But I've beaten Dark Souls 1 and I've beaten Bloodborne at this point, and I've beaten Elden Ring. So I mean, I don't know how I had problems with these games in the past, because they're not all that hard. Like Dark Souls, these games are not all that hard. Once you really start to get in the groove, the games actually become kind of easy. That and the fact that once you realize that every single boss has some kind of method to make it 10 times easier, and you just have to figure it out, the games become way easier as well. Once you realize that you can just run past everything and not kill everything, it's also really easy. But yeah,
Oh,
like,
man.
I'm actually kind of disappointed, because I know that Total Drama Island is not a bad show. It's just that, like, I watch it and it's kind of like, it's okay. Like, if you're ever watching SpongeBob, it's like, hey, I mean, this show is pretty good. It's not the best thing ever, and it's not the worst thing ever. It's just okay. Total Drama Island is kind of like that. It's like, yeah, it's a good show, but, there are other things that I would rather watch, but it's also not the worst thing. It's good. It's just good. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. You get what I'm saying here, right?
Mm-hmm. And just for the record, not everything has to be like this grand spectacle. Like, there's nothing wrong with just being good, because there's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
things.
just being okay. Like Total Drama Island is okay. Legitimately though, I think Total Drama Action is better than Total Drama Island, and everybody agrees with me that Total Drama World Tour is the best one.
I've literally never seen any of them, so I
World
can't
Tour is
comment.
the best. The worst is probably fucking, I don't know. I don't know what the worst is. Probably fucking All Stars. All Stars is kind of, well, actually All Stars is kind of good, I guess, but it's not
I
great.
know there's a, I know there's a spin-off where all like
They're
the
babies.
main.
That's not even.
Yeah.
I don't even count that as existing, really, because it's so fucking bad. So I don't even. I pretend that doesn't even exist. It's also not canon at all. It's a spin-off, so I don't count it. Because like in Total Drama, from Total Drama season 1 to like season 8, all of those were canon. They even have like some of the same characters coming back. Like some characters that were in season 1 of the show are literally in like the last season of the show. Not a lot of them, and they might like at the very last season they might make like 5-minute appearances, but they're still there and it's still canon. Whereas like other shows, are not canon. This one is. It actually has a continuing storyline and 8 seasons of continuing storyline, which is kind of cool. But I think it's okay. It's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm still gonna get fucking crucified in the comments because I said that it wasn't the best thing in the world. It's okay. Like, you have to realize I'm 21 almost now. Like, it's not gonna appeal to me as much as it did, fucking 10 years ago. But here's the thing. There are shows that appeal to me just as much now as I was when I was 10. Some of those shows are Flapjack, Chowder, Billy and Mandy. Those shows are just as good to me now as they were 10 years ago. Same with like regular show. These are still shows that even though I'm 10 years older, 11 years older, I still love these shows. They're still amazing shows.
Well, because most of the jokes in something like regular show I can totally understand, because it's like there's a lot of jokes in regular show that would sail right over a 10-year-old's head.
Dude,
But like when you watch.
honestly, fucking, if you've seen Flapjack or Chowder or even like fucking, Billy and Mandy, those shows were not really meant for kids. They were kind of like,
Yeah.
I like to call them Invader Zim shows. They're not inappropriate for a kid, but there's zero way that a kid can fully appreciate it.
Or like me now, I 100% fucking love Invader Zim, but I loved it then. But I, of course, most of the jokes kind of just right over the fucking hairs.
Dude, I was about to say, watching Invader Zim now, it's like 10 times better than it was years ago. It's way better now. Because now I'm an adult. I'm an adult now. So watching Invader Zim, it's like, dude, this show is fucking genius.
Like, there's like some jokes that I kind of got, like that one where I think his name was Kyle or something like that, where Zim gives him like a gift, and then there's like robot arms come out and just like rip the
Yeah.
fucking eyes out of his skull. That part freaked me the fuck out. But
Yeah,
then you got
dude.
jokes.
Remember the fucking Invader Zim organ stealing episode where Zim was just eating
Oh
organs and
my
became huge?
god.
That was fucking like the creepiest shit when I was younger. And now I look at it and I was like, that's fucking hilarious. That's the most hilarious thing I've ever seen.
It's still creepy though to it like
Yeah,
a
but it's
degree,
fun. Yeah, but it's funny as fuck.
Then there's that. I think it was in the same episode where Gaz is like, "Well, I got a squeedly spooch," and it's like, what does this imply? Is she being herself, or is she
Yeah,
like actually
I remember
working?
that. It's like my squiggly spooch, and it's like humans don't have a squiggly spooch, and Gaz is like, I have a squiggly spooch. I feel like it's supposed to be like a vagina joke, probably, but I'm not sure.
All I know is that it's very strange, and I still to this day don't know what it means.
The best part is that Invader Zim was able to do jokes that don't make any sense and actually make them funny. Like jokes that literally have zero meaning. They're just nothingness. And Invader Zim was able to make that funny. Whereas a lot of shows are not able to do that. On the other side of the table, you know what I love the most? Here's the tier list. The number one thing is looking back on a show that I love, and it's even better. The worst thing is looking back on a show you loved, and it's fucking terrible now. That's the worst.
That's the worst
Like
feeling in the
that
fucking world.
that has happened to me. Like I've gone back and watched shows that I thought were amazing, and I'm like, this is fucking really, really bad. Like really bad. And I was like, God fucking damn it, dude. But legitimately, I've gone back and seen shows that I thought were fucking top tier, and they're fucking terrible now. Like dog shit. But the number two thing that I love is looking back on a show that I thought was fucking terrible 10 years ago, and it's fucking terrible still. I love that. Like,
Fucking.
here's the thing, right? 10 years ago, there was a show that fucking irritated the shit out of me. I think it was worse than Teen Titans Go. It was the worst fucking show that I had ever seen 10 years ago. I looked back on it a couple weeks ago, and it's even fucking worse. Even worse, actually. 3 of them, actually. 3 shows that I hated when I was 10, and I hate them 10 years later. You want to know what they are?
Please tell me.
Sanjay and Craig is one of them. I hated that show when I was 10. I fucking hate it today. That show's fucking terrible. I hate Sanjay and Craig. About the fucking kid with the talking snake, that show sucks. I hate it. I think it's terrible. The second one was Fanboy and Chum Chum.
I was gonna
Dude,
mention that.
when I was 13, because that came out a little bit after I was 10. I think it came out in like 2012, 2011. So I was like 13 at that time, 12, you know? So it was more like 8 years ago. I fucking hated that show as like a preteen / teenager. I hated that fucking show. And looking back on it today, Fanboy and Chum Chum is insulting to look at. But I told you there were 3 that I looked back on that I thought were terrible 10 years ago, and I still think are terrible. And this show is let's put it like this. It is 100% worse than Teen Titans Go. It's worse.
Are you gonna?
I am.
Say it?
I thought it was one of the worst shows that I had ever seen, probably 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 6, and I was so happy when I watched it a couple weeks ago, and it is still the worst show I've ever seen. And that would be a show that started off as a fucking YouTube thing. It was a YouTube series. And when Cartoon Network reached out to the creator of that YouTube series saying that they wanted to. No, when Nickelodeon reached out to the creator of that web series and
I know what you're
asked.
talking
And
about.
asked if he
I've
wanted to make it a full-time show on Nickelodeon, the creator of that YouTube series thought they were joking and asked if they were serious. The worst fucking show 5 years ago and the worst show right now would have to be fucking Breadwinners. That is literally so fucking bad. It's so bad.
For a split second, I thought you were gonna mention the Annoying Orange show.
No, dude, Breadwinners is worse. Breadwinners is worse than the Annoying Orange.
Oh my god, that is terrible. Why would you even say that?
No, do you disagree? Breadwinners is worse than the Annoying Orange. Dude, Breadwinners, remember Fred? That fucking high-pitched guy? Remember Fred, the TV show? Breadwinners, I think, is worse than that. Because at least Fred could make me laugh. Because it was so stupid.
Yeah.
Breadwinners is 99% of it is just showing ass on the screen and bouncing it up and down and farting. That's the whole show. It's butts and farting. That's it.
I had a feeling you were gonna mention Breadwinners, but I didn't want to like say
Dude,
anything. Because,
legitimately, when Nickelodeon reached out to the creator of Breadwinners and said that they wanted to make it a full-time show on Nickelodeon, they seriously were like, "Are you serious? Like, are you being for real?" They thought it was a prank. Because, like, even they knew that it was fucking bad. And Nickelodeon was like, yeah, let's make a full TV show out of it. Breadwinners is probably the worst fucking show I've ever seen in my entire life. It is so unbelievably unfunny, insulting, offensive, and bad. Like, I seriously hate it. I hated it 5 years ago. I hate it even more now. But there's a fourth thing that happens sometimes. And the fourth thing, right, is when you look back on a show that you did not like as a kid, but you do like it now.
Oh.
And
plot twist.
I'm actually going to get crucified in the comments for saying this, but there are 3 shows that were, I believe, on Cartoon Network. One of them was on Nickelodeon, I think. That I actually hated as a kid, but I think are good shows now. And they're shows that are, like, hated by the movie-going, by, like, the TV show audience, right? The first one was the very first Nickelodeon show that had puppets as the main characters.
Oh my god, are you talking about the fucking oh my god, is it the one where they work in a fast food joint?
Mr. Meaty, you know it is.
Yes.
Dude,
yes!
dude, I don't know why people hate that show. Mr. Meaty is fucking hilarious. It's funny as hell.
The fucking tapeworm episode, I think, is the funniest one.
Dude,
to be honest,
like people hated it.
Weird.
People hated it because the models of the puppets didn't look like humans and were terrible. But like, it was a funny fucking show. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know what Mr. Meaty is, right?
Yeah.
That show's actually funny. But every single person alive pretty much hates it. Why? It's not that bad. I think it's pretty funny. It's gross to look at, but it's funny.
It's almost like the puppets were designed to look grotesque.
Grotesque and awful, yeah. Yeah, dude, honestly, I think Mr. Meaty is super underrated. I think people think it's fucking terrible, but I don't think it's that bad. The second show that I think is super underrated is Cartoon Network. It's on Cartoon Network. Now, I kind of want to give hints to what this show could be without just coming out and blatantly saying it.
Okay.
This show was hated the first time it was aired. In fact, they wanted to cancel it after the first couple of episodes, like first 12. However, due to the immense cult following of this TV show, it has 4 seasons. This show has characters. Wait, what did you say?
Clarence?
No. Nah.
Oh.
This show involves a talking RV, a dinosaur, a piece of pizza, in a fanny
Uncle
pack.
Grandpa.
Yeah, people hate that show, and I don't know why, because I actually think that show is pretty good. I don't think it's the best, but I'd rather watch that than like Teen Titans Go and a bunch of other shit. I actually don't think Uncle Grandpa's the worst show Cartoon Network has ever put out. I think Loud House is worse than Uncle Grandpa. Not even kidding, I actually do. I don't like Loud House. I think that show's
I'm
annoying and
I'm
irritating.
glad. I'm glad that someone shares that sentiment with me. How do people find that show funny at
I was
all?
about to say, Loud House was like, well, here's the thing. It was really hyped up at first. If you look at the ratings now, Loud House is like hated. People don't like it because the people who were making it realized that they had no talent, and they just once they like ran out of everyday things, the show got really bad. I thought it was bad from day one because it's just annoying. Like none of the characters are likable. They're not endearing. It's not funny. It's not interesting. It's just fucking annoying and irritating. It irritates me. It's annoying. Like it pisses me off. I fucking hate fucking the Loud House. I think Uncle Grandpa is better. And here's the thing. Uncle Grandpa irritates a fucking lot of people. Not a lot of people like that show, but it has a huge cult following. Because I don't think it's that bad. I think it's actually okay. Like, legitimately, I think that Uncle Grandpa is kind of the SpongeBob of Cartoon Network. SpongeBob is obviously a million times better than Uncle Grandpa, but it's one of those shows where it's like this show is like not the worst, but it's definitely not like the best. It's not even really good. It's kind of just, hey, it's acceptable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's acceptable. And then this one is probably the most controversial one. Another show that I think is underrated and did not get a fair show, like a fair shot, was taken off the air because of its immense color palette and like it was giving kids like seizures. It just was way too much at one time. The whole entire fucking show looked like a 2011 MySpace page. And I feel like you should be able to know what I'm talking about just by saying that.
God, no, I doesn't ring a bell.
Okay.
Oh,
Now,
wait. One just clicked. Is it problem solvers?
yes it is! Yes it
Yeah,
is!
I fucking love problem solving,
Dude,
dude.
I don't know why people don't like that show. I fucking love that show. I think that show is fucking genius.
I mean, the character designs was fucking abysmal, but everything else was funny about it. I don't know what it is,
I was about to
but
say, like, that's the number one critique that I heard a lot of people say as well, is that the background with just random shit happening all the time and blinking made people sick, and the fucking character design was really bad. And I agree, the character design was really bad. And the voice acting was also actually okay. I thought the voice acting was okay. However, I thought the show, once you can look past, like, the fucking awful animation and like vomit inducing background, there's some pretty good fucking jokes in there. Like I remember the first episode was where they needed to stop a roller coaster that was making kids turn old, and she was like, I gave my kids passes to go on this roller coaster and they came back looking like this. And the robot says, were they on it for 98 years? And she's like, no! And that's fucking funny. That's a funny fucking joke. Like, I think that's funny, because, like, clearly they were not on it for 98 fucking years, you know? Like, I actually thought Problem Solvers was fucking hilarious, actually. I really liked Problem Solvers. I thought it was funny as fuck. Like, the character design was kind of shitty, and the fucking backgrounds were seizure-inducing, but I thought it was fucking hilarious.
yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but I had a little technical difficulties. Ow.
I did not see that.
Okay.
But yeah, I just think that once you can look past like the animation issues, it's a fucking hilarious show with really funny jokes, and it's pretty clever too. Like I think it's fucking really funny. I like that's my controversial picks of the day that I think fucking Uncle Grandpa, Problem Solvers, and Mr. Meaty are good shows. Because I think they are good shows. But yeah, like, I feel like the new series is gonna be kind of like this, but instead of doing this, we do like a fucking hour-long like video essay exploring like the whole show, you know? What
Oh
we like
boy.
about it, what we don't like about it, like our feelings on it. You know, I feel like we should totally start a new series where we look back on old shows that we watched as a kid and we kind of like rewatch them and see what we think.
Hell, it doesn't even necessarily have to be like shows specifically, just anything that makes you nostalgic, really.
I was about to say, like, it would be. Yeah, like, I feel like we're kind of doing Nostalgia Critic, but I kind of want to do it anyway. Like, for example, you know what I have not seen in so long? Remember the Curious George movie where they, like, go across the world and
Oh
shit?
my
It
god.
has fucking, Jack Johnson Upside Down playing. You know that, right? Where they're, like, in the fucking train car and the moon's there and they're playing Upside Down.
I remember the fucking show too.
Dude,
Like
I
the
feel
fuck.
like what we should do is we should like both whenever we can like try and find it free because I feel like we should probably do like mostly free stuff. I'll even like give you my Netflix fucking login because it doesn't matter. I'll give you my Netflix bullshit. It's not like you have to pay for it, or it's not like we have to pay for you. You know what I'm saying? So we're just gonna do that. I'm just gonna give you my Netflix bullshit, and you can just log in and watch stuff. But like, I feel like we should legitimately go back and watch like the Curious George movie and see if we think it's good or not.
I
Or just
mean, yeah.
anything like shows that you watch too. Like, you know what I would love to do, like a fucking retrospective on original Ben 10 and see if that's still good. I feel like it is because it's a good fucking
Spoiler
show.
alert, it still is good.
I assume so. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. Fucking I found He-Man and the Masters of the Universe on Hulu the other day, and I was like, holy shit, He-Man is an old fucking show that I watched when I was like really young, but it was old at that time. Like, He-Man came out in like the fucking 80s. The show did.
Dude, fucking
Fucking
okay,
Johnny
so
Quest, not Johnny Test, Johnny Quest.
Johnny Quest, dude,
That
I
was a
love
good
Johnny
fucking
Quest.
show. I like Johnny Quest.
Dude, have you seen the original Transformers movie?
Dude, I think I have. But it was probably so fucking long ago that I can't even remember it.
It's the one where Optimus dies.
Yes, I have seen that.
I enjoy that one.
Dude,
Ow.
what are we gonna call that series though?
Fuck, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Fuck, we have to come up with something like unique and original, I think. Fucking
Not the nostalgia critic.
yeah, not that.
Damn, fucking, I guess rose tinted goggles or something because
Oh, dude, that'd be
it's a
kind of
common.
that's kind of cool.
I mean, it's a common phrase, but I haven't really seen people use it as a name or a brand. Actually,
Fucking
I kind of like that.
yeah, rose tinted goggles and like it's like yeah, like episode 1 and it'll be like whatever you want to talk about. Yeah, hell yeah. Like I said, I feel like it can be anything that makes us nostalgic. Like, I know we're kind of like biting off of Nostalgia Critic, but we're not really trying to, you know? In fact, we kind of want to focus primarily on TV shows, whereas Nostalgia Critic focuses exclusively on movies. He doesn't do TV shows, he does movies only. If you actually look at his stuff, I'm pretty sure he only does movies. And I feel like I kind of want to
I
do like
think
TV shows. And I know that it's
I
really
think
hard to review a fucking TV show because you need to watch like a whole like fucking season, and if your video is less than like 3 hours long, you're not really doing a good job of reviewing it. You have to like break it down like episode by episode. I feel like that's something we'd have to like write a script for, like actually know what we're gonna say to do it. And I kind of want to commit to that and do like an episode of fucking rose tinted goggles. That sounds like a really fun series that I want to do. The only thing that would make it even better is if we could somehow watch it at the same time.
So like a live reaction, basically.
Yeah, that would be awesome. If me and you could both kind of watch it and do like a live reaction to it, and at the end kind of like do our review on it. But like I know you can do like watch parties and shit on like Facebook and stuff like that. Like there has to be a way for us to do this.
I mean, Discord does have screen sharing,
Yeah, but it
so
doesn't work.
yes, it does.
Dude, it barely ever fucking works. Every time I try and do that, right? In order for it to work, I have to be clicked off of Discord onto the screen, and even then, sometimes I guess it doesn't work. That and the fact that I'd have to find it on, like, fucking YouTube to do it. Well, actually, no, I guess I don't. I could just find it on any browser, I guess, and watch it. Which is even better, because I can access fucking Netflix from here.
Uh, yeah, that's what screen sharing is.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess we could, like, try and find it on, like, Netflix and shit like that, too. Dude, that would be fucking awesome. I feel like we couldn't record ourselves watching it because we'd probably get copyrighted for having an entire fucking episode of shit on. But I mean, like, to be honest, right? Like, there are people who do it. Like, fucking people, like, watch, like, whole entire episodes of, like, To Catch a Predator and react to it. I don't know if they're
Oh my.
monetized, though. I'm pretty sure you get copyright struck. You know what I'm saying? Because you're watching the whole fucking thing in the back. So I feel like what we should do is watch it together and then, like, write our scripts about the episode, like, after we watch it, and then record, like, our, like, review on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is it's more of a review. And then if I know how to fucking edit, when I'm doing that, I can like put like clips and shit of the show like in the background and shit like that, while we do this, or just have images up. You know what I'm saying? Just to make it a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more interactive so it's not just a fucking screen. Well, anyway, that's something that you guys can look forward to on this channel. I know that we've been gone for a while. I have this video and 2 other videos to upload. Unfortunately, the other 2, the audio quality is a little bit bad. Uh, just because my mic, I guess the gain got turned down. You can still hear it if you wear headphones, but definitely keep a lookout for the new, basically nostalgia review series on our channel. I actually am really fucking excited to do that. That sounds absolutely fucking fun.
Right.
All right, so we will see you later.
Yeah.